Well, this session is on economic outlook. We launched the discussions at the breakfast, but we'll try and hone in on some economic issues. We have with us here Amre Moussa, very pleased to have you, Your Excellency, Secretary General of the League of Arab States. Originally he's from Egypt. And from the business world, Anil Kumar, Chief Executive Officer of the Randstad Group from the UK, and Martin Rutenhagen, the Chief Executive Officer of AGCO, based in the US, I believe the company is?
Atlanta, Georgia.
In Atlanta, Georgia. You had some bad weather down there recently, huh?
Well, no. We had a flat stabilization, so we wanted also to have some snow.
Yeah.
And we did get it.
You got it. A very interesting article on that, on the change of weather with Canada being very warm and south of US very cold. Amre, we're going to start with you because I know that you have to leave, and we're all very eager to hear from you. You've just come back from the Arab Economic Summit, which I believe just concluded now in Sharm el-Sheikh. What were the really critical issues that came out of that summit on the economic health and prospects in the region?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to attend this session and share with you some of the ideas and analysis of the situation in the Middle East, which, as you all see, in real turmoil, but is it a negative one or positive one? Would it lead to a new Middle East, a new Arab world, or more of the same? That's what we are really very busy with, modernization and discussion about the future and analyzing the ills of our societies and how to rebuild this important region. We have, in fact, a lot of items that we have to deal with, major items, priority items. The reform of the societies, the development of social and economic development. We have the major political and security problems, the Palestinian question, the nuclear situation in the region. We have also the effects of the so-called clash of civilizations and the confrontation that is going on. All those issues form a tremendous agenda for our region. Recently, as you have said, Mary, a summit. Now, the Arab League has two sorts of summits, political and security, and the other is economic and social development. The recent one, most recent one, held in Sharm el-Sheikh, had on its agenda the establishment of an Arab common market by 2020.
That's been going on for a long time.
That was talked about. Yes. Now we're going.
Yeah. Well, it's been talked about for 20, 30 years.
Now we're not talking about it.
He's going to do it. Oh, okay.
This is one of the changes we are studying in the Arab world. Not to talk too much, but to do something. So, fixing the 2015 for Economic Customs Union and 2020 for the common market. Having launched the free trade area back in 2009. It's not working comme il faut, as they say, but it is improving the inter-Arab trade. In addition to the inter-Arab services, commerce, which is highly successful. Very successful. So the major projects that came out of the Economic and Social Summit are two or three things. Number one, a railway system all through North Africa to the Gulf. And this will link up the current systems, the feasibility study has been already referred to one of the
And the
experts. Yes, and financing is from the Arab Fund for Economic and Social Development, which is a very rich fund, full of money that we can finance all this. Parallel to the railway system, the electricity grids, which that system of electricity grid lines has been already launched, and it is working between Egypt, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon, Egypt, Libya, Tunis, and moving to end by Turkey here and Spain. Turkey to the east, Spain to the west. And it has already started years back, and we need more, but it is an important, one of the important projects that we have talked about for long, but now they are being implemented. Then the third one is about the maritime link. This has been thoroughly discussed in Sharm el-Sheikh, and we're going to work on it, and through working groups, and then through the financial institutions, and then the feasibility study and so on.
So these three projects look very, for you at least, they look like they're right on track.
A fourth one has to do with the small and medium-sized businesses.
Right.
Established a fund of $2 billion, in addition to national funds. But this is an Arab fund to help to small, medium, and small, and micro.
And micro.
And this is now the $2 billion. 1.3 has been already paid, actually paid. So we will be in a position to launch it very soon, within weeks. This is the outcome, the economic outcome. But on the social side, we were talking about women, about healthcare, about education, the changing the systems of education. And this trend is a very effective one under the League of Arab States. For this organization as a regional one, not to have the political and security issues only on its agenda, but it has to pay attention to the developments and the reform, not only the economic and social development, but the reform of societies through education, culture, and also the democracies.
Well, how important that has become when you look at the current events in Tunisia, even in Lebanon, the streets of Tunis, of Beirut, and now of Cairo. These are big projects. Can they be derailed by some of what's going on? And what is going on? What is going to happen?
Well, it is I said in the beginning, it is a turmoil. The indicators about the will in the Arab world to change, to affect real reform. We have a strange structure of our societies where young people form the majority of the unemployed. So we have to address their needs, to create jobs, change the economy to be hospitable to such for them. But those are signs of change in the Arab world. You see in Lebanon now a change of direction, possible change of direction. In Iraq, it's a fragile situation, slow development, but still there is hope over there. I was there only 10 days back, in Baghdad, in Negev, and in the north and the south. I found that they are really moving on, finally, but still so fragile and so slow. In Somalia, that's total collapse.
Yes.
In Sudan, the partition is coming up, unfortunately. In Tunisia, real revolution. In Egypt, perhaps a wake-up call. So, as you see, people won't change. And governments realize that fact. That's why you should expect that the Middle East, in 5 years' time, will be different. But in order for the Middle East to be different, for the Arab world to be different, we have to address the problems properly, including the political problems, including the Arab-Israeli conflict. It has to be addressed in a cogent way. You cannot just follow this policy or diplomacy of managing the crisis, continue to manage the crisis, call for meetings, big conference, small conference, direct talks, proximity talks, envoys. This is a game that has no credibility at this stage. So when talk about negotiations, we all believe in negotiations. Of course, we have to negotiate, but you have to create an atmosphere conducive to the success of those negotiations. Not to negotiate just to have a picture and show it to everybody. So you see they are negotiating, so don't disturb them while we are doing nothing. So we have to address those problems, the political problems, in a way that would lead to their solution.
Can I, of course, we're taking advantage of your presence here to go into some of the security and political, but clearly also for world development, for economic strength and so on, the health of the Middle East region in all forms, economic, social and political, is very important. If you don't mind, Amre, I'm going to enlarge perhaps the discussion to bring in some of the economic issues. But one of the areas that you have touched on and why you saw me smiling before, around the region that you are most concerned with has some of the lowest intertrade statistics of the whole world, except for certain portions of Africa. And we all know that the intertrade between neighbors is one of the greatest stimuli for countries. So I think we can only hope that this time a customs union will actually happen and prove that even, shall we say, nervous neighbors can make use of each other. By the way, in South Asia, it's just as difficult. I'd like to, if it's all right with you, to enlarge a little bit and bring in our